What's up guys, my name is Bravo, and in this video I'm going to go over the top 5 starter Pokemon that are extremely good in VGC. In Pokemon we have a total of 30 different starter Pokemon, and most of those starters are great picks when creating a competitive team. Because of this, I will only be talking about VGC and not competitive singles, because those two formats have way too many complex rules and a very different ranking from one another. If you guys enjoy these kind of videos, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It's always appreciated, as I'm on the road to 800 subscribers. And without further ado, let's get into today's video. Enjoy. For the top 5, we're going to start off with the best starter in Paldea, which is Meowscarada. Meowscarada is a grass and dark type Pokemon, and at first glance, that is the worst type combination in Pokemon in general. Despite that, Meowscarada's amazing stats and moveset makes up for it. Looking at the stats, Meowscarada has a base 123 speed, which makes it the fastest starter Pokemon in the entire game, beating base Greninja by 1 point. Along with that, Meowscarada has base 110 attack and a really good signature move, Flower Trick, which does base 70 damage and always results in a critical hit. To make things better, its hidden ability Protein allows Meowscarada to change its type depending on what move it does. Now, why Meowscarada is number 5 on this list is understandable. Like I said before, Meowscarada is a grass and dark type Pokemon that makes it really vulnerable to a lot of popular types in the meta, like fire, flying, ice, and having a 4 times weakness to bug. Not to mention, to make Meowscarada viable, it needs to have its hidden ability Protein so it can increase its survivability, and not to mention, it needs to have really good synergy with the proper team for it to be valuable against weather teams and against Trick Room teams. Meowscarada is really good, like stats wise and whatnot, but at the end of the day, it's not used very often, and even if it is, Meowscarada just gets shut down by a lot of Pokemon in the VGC meta, and that's honestly unfortunate. For number 4, we have Primarina. Now, Primarina is a Pokemon that surprises me quite a lot. It's one of those Pokemon where if your opponent is not using Incineroar, there's a small chance they could be using Primarina. What makes Primarina unique is that it is a water and fairy type Pokemon, the first starter to be a fairy type, and it has a hidden ability Liquid Voice, which turns normal type moves into water type attacks, which makes Primarina able to go up against Pokemon like Gholdengo and King Gambit, since Gholdengo is immune to normal type moves, and King Gambit will just resist a regular Hyper Voice. It's fair to say that Primarina is quite a balanced Pokemon in a sense, and has really powerful special attack, which is base 126, and a very special defense stat of being base 116. And having base 60 speed, it does make Primarina decent in most teams that involves Trick Room, and it's actually really good, surprisingly. Unfortunately, during Regulation G, Primarina will have a difficult time dealing with Pokemon like Raging Bolt, Ogerpon, and Shadow Rider Calyrex, making Primarina not function properly unless it has a good team with a really good synergy. Number 3, we have Hisuian Typhlosion. I'll be honest, Typhlosion is one of my favorite starters in Pokemon, and the fact that it has a regional form makes it better. With the release of Pokemon Legends Arceus, we were introduced to Hisuian Typhlosion, which became a fire and ghost type with a slight change in the stats compared to its original counterpart. What makes Hisuian Typhlosion interesting is its best ability is Blaze, because not only it can increase the damage of fire type moves when it's at low HP, its hidden ability is Frisk, which takes your opponent's item when it enters the battle. Frisk is honestly a really bad ability to use on a Pokemon like Hisuian Typhlosion, where most of the time you would want to use abilities that increases damage or survivability. The reason why Hisuian Typhlosion is better than its original counterpart is because it gets an increase in a special attack, originally being base 109 to base 119. However, losing 5 points on its speed and HP in the process. It wouldn't even matter much if you were to use items like Choice Specs, Choice Scarf, or Life Orb, because if you're faster than your opponent, you can just click Eruption, and 98% of the time, all of your opponent's Pokemon would be wiped out. Popularity wise, Hisuian Typhlosion is a solid pick in some teams that include Torkoal and Hisuian Lilligant, and is without a doubt a massive powerhouse that would just want to one-shot any Pokemon that ends up in its way, and it's absolutely incredible. Number 2, we have Rillaboom. Now, Rillaboom is by far the best grass-type starter Pokemon to use in VGC, and the stats and versatile move pool reflects that. It has access to many meta-defining moves like Wood Hammer, Fake Out, U-Turn, Knockoff, and many more. Rillaboom also has the ability Grassy Surge, where it sets up a grassy terrain when it enters battle. It makes it able to use attacks like Grassy Glide, which is only a priority move when the grassy terrain is in effect. What makes Rillaboom a Pokemon not to be underestimated is its amazing stats. Rillaboom is quite a heavy hitter, having base 125 attack, base 180 HP, base 90 defense, and base 85 speed, making it fast enough to outspeed Pokemon like Dragonite, Gholdengo, and even Basculegion without a range setter. What makes it better is that Rillaboom has good synergy with most teams and can be a good counter against some Trick Room teams, making it a really good starter Pokemon to use in the meta. However, there is one Pokemon that stands above all other starters and is the #1 starter in VGC. And I'm going to be talking about it right now. We all knew this was coming. You knew it, I knew it, everyone knows it. For #1, we have Incineroar. Now, Incineroar is the #1 best starter Pokemon to use in VGC. 99% of competitive teams has Incineroar in it, making it a staple on every team imaginable. And its hidden ability, Intimidate, is the best ability to use, especially in VGC. Since its debut, Incineroar was able to go head-to-head with lots of meta-defining Pokemon, both legendaries and mythicals, due to its outstanding move pool. Like Rillaboom, Incineroar also has Fake Out and Knockoff, along with moves like Flare Blitz for amazing damage and Parting Shot to switch out Incineroar while lowering your opponent's attack and special attacks stats by 1 stage. Compared to the other starters I mentioned earlier, Incineroar is quite one of the slowest ones, but man, does this Pokemon have amazing stats. It has base 115 attack, base 90 defense and special defense, along with the base 95 HP, making Incineroar a formidable Pokemon to use. Not only that, Incineroar is also a fire and dark type, which is absolutely amazing offensively and is perfect for the meta where most teams consist of Pokemon like Indeedee, Hatterene, King Gambit, and Gholdengo. I know I mentioned Gholdengo twice, but I honestly don't like that Pokemon. You can counter Incineroar really well with a high-speed Pokemon like Garchomp or a very good water-type Pokemon like Pelipper. However, with Terrestrialization, Incineroar can Terrestrialize into either Terra Water to resist attacks it's weak against, or it can become Terra Ghost to be in moves like Fake Out. With all of that in mind, that makes Incineroar a Pokemon that is beyond balanced in every way possible and straight up a menace if not taken care of immediately. That's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know this video was kind of short and whatnot, but I promise I will be having a lot more videos coming in the future, along with another video that's going to be talking about some types I feel like was unique into Pokemon and how good they are, so stay tuned for that. I do plan on making a lot more videos like this where I rank the best teams to use in VGC, along with other projects that had to get delayed for a while, but hopefully I'll be back on regular uploading schedule soon. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. It is always appreciated, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care, everybody.